That's a safety thing, so you don't run into stuff or crash your drone. And so once the drone lands, these push rods will center it. The front and rear push rods will center the drone, and then the side rods, which actually charge the drone, they will center it horizontally. And once it's completely centered, there's a little prong that comes out that sticks in the drone's legs that charges the batteries on the drone. So these batteries do quick charge. In our testing, we found around one for every minute of flight time. To get it back to fully charged, you need about a minute and a half of charge time. It can go from, I believe, 10% charge to 90% in 20-25 minutes. We really haven't had any issues with downtime to get charging. So let me, all right, bring this back up. Okay, so some takeaways. I personally have conducted DFR operations for about 105 hours. That's sitting in the office, waiting for a call to come out, sending the drone to it, providing updates, and everything like that. So I have a pretty good handle on the capabilities and of the system and the things that we're integrating into it. And so these are just some key takeaways that we've gone over. You can fly completely through Flight Hub 2. We're going to fly through DroneSense. It's very similar. It's just a different system because we already have other things integrated into DroneSense. So that's how we're going to fly them. Let's see here. We just need the one person in the office. It is still one pilot per drone. So say when we have our three drones. When we have our three drones and docks in operation, I can't send, all three drones out to calls at the same time. It's still one operator, one drone in the air. Let's see. Again, standby status to taking off, drone in the air, about 45 seconds on average. Sometimes it'll be around 40, sometimes it may take a little bit longer. It just depends on how long it takes the drone to acquire the RTK signal and pick up the satellites. Now, in those 105 hours of operations, the data shows that both our mean and our median response time is 3 minutes, which is, if you have looked into any agency's response times for any sort of calls, that is outstanding. And the beauty of it is it doesn't matter what kind of call type it is. So something you would consider, a high priority call, say, a T-bone crash or something where there's a high likelihood of somebody being injured, our response time is going to be about 3 minutes. As where you have something that's not as high priority, say, a residential alarm where, you can look at the call history and, hey, they've had 10 false alarms this, past week and a half. Well, the drone's going to be there in 3 minutes. So it's the same response time that doesn't change based on the call type. We're able to respond and provide that information to the officers and dispatch so we can allocate resources and have a bit better picture of what to expect once we get there. So our next steps, I kind of touched on this earlier. So we partnered up with Adorama Business Solutions, and they have given us our current dock that's in operation to use and demonstrate and test out for a bit. And we thank them for that because they're not yet commercially available, but that's coming. Like I said, our awesome city council, they just approved us about a week ago to purchase 2 additional ones. And so we're going to have 3 of those in our hotspots, sending them to all sorts of calls all the time. We already have those planned out. Like I said, we have two great crime analysts, and we know exactly where these are going and where they're needed, and that's where we're going to put them. And so being able to test the dock, we previously had DJI themselves gave us a dock to test out, and that's the one we had most of our data from. We had it for the longest. It was in operation, and there are just so many things that we're able to work with DJI, whether it's usability, UI, features, issues that should be addressed. They're very receptive and working on getting all that taken care of. So no matter what your application of using this system is, that it's going to be user-friendly and safe for everybody to use, especially since these are all going to be mostly used for beyond visual line of sight operations. That's paramount, is the safety that we have when we're operating these large drones. But yeah, that's all I have. So I will turn it back over to Grant and Pat.